evening. I am Paul George Ringo William Chapel III. And excuse me, I'm sorry. I just watched 10 hours of The Crown and I got a little bit British there. Guys, I am happy to announce that The Crown is back and it's better than ever. God, I love this show. It's even useless for me to review it. Just go watch it. I mean, if you really want a serious review, you're not going to get one because I love the show. But I will criticize two things about the show. We need more of this show. This show never needs to end. Seriously. We need it every year till the end of time. That's how good it is. And it seems like Netflix is pouring buckets of money into this show because there were so many scenes this season that I was like, how did they do that? There's no way that's CGI. It probably was CGI, but oh my God, they spent so much money on this show. I know they spent something like $150 million the first season or the first two seasons, something like that. So they spared no expense. The only thing I was criticized is the fact that they did have some IRA stuff because this period, which covers roughly the 80s, that was the time of the troubles with the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, and a member of the royal family is assassinated, which, strangely enough, I didn't know about at all. I'd never heard of it. I mean, I think I was really young when it happened, so I wouldn't know about it anyway. But yeah, somebody gets assassinated. The weird thing about it, though, is that Margaret Thatcher also had an attempt by the IRA on her life, and they didn't even cover it this season. I was kind of disappointed with that. So that was my first criticism. My second criticism would be the fact that Emma Corrin, who plays Princess Diana, I didn't completely buy her as Princess Diana. And I think that has something to do with the fact that Princess Diana received so much coverage when she was alive. And she was very beautiful. Usually when they do a reenactment of something in Hollywood, they get somebody that's so much better looking. For example, in the first season, Claire Foy is so much better looking than the real Queen Elizabeth at that same age. So usually they get somebody's overly good looking, as the case of somebody like, let me give you another good example. The guy that plays Prince Charles, he looks a lot more handsome than Prince Charles. I'm not saying that in a gay way. Josh O'Connor, not even a contest. So I was kind of disappointed. I don't think Emma Corrin was that much better looking than Princess Diana. I mean, Princess Diana was stunning. So I just never completely bought her as Princess Diana. I think Princess Diana had a lot more charisma than she showed in the role. There was never a point in the show where I just turned off my suspension of disbelief. Now, I did turn off that suspension of disbelief with Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher. I mean, Gillian Anderson is just a great actress. This is the second role I've seen her do as a British person, and she just rocks the accent. And at a certain point, you forget that you're watching Gillian Anderson, and you really think you have this window into the past. And it was just great to see. Of course, I still like Helena Bonham Carter more than anybody else in this cast. I said last season that she was just the greatest. She just steals every little scene she's in, and she's not in a lot of scenes. She got actually, now that I think about it, she did get just about as much coverage as a character this season as last season, I think. I think she had a little bit more to do last season. But, I mean, like I said, she just brings this charisma to that character that I don't think anybody else could do. She's just perfect for this role. I even like Olivia Colman this season. And that was my biggest problem last season. The change over from Claire Foy to Olivia Colman just did not seem seamless to me. I really had a lot of problems with her portrayal. This season, I think she nailed it. So all the women are just great. And the thing about it, it has nothing to do with liberal Hollywood or liberal, whatever they call the movie industry in Britain. It has nothing to do with that. These are real women. This stuff actually happened. In fact, there were so many times during this season where I saw something and I was like, there's no way that happened. And I would look it up and it'll be there right in black and white on Wikipedia or somewhere. Yes, everything this season pretty much happened. Now, there was some variations on some stuff that I will get to in a minute. But for the most part, it was pretty accurate. And man, it was just great to see the women just all rock. The men were just insufferable, whiny little bitches. I just have to say that. If you like Charles, Prince Charles last season, you're not going to like him this season. I just have to say it like that. He knowingly married Princess Diana, knowing he was going to stay with Camilla Parker Bowles and that affair and all that. And he just created this situation trying to satisfy his family, as many of these roles do. But he just seems so contemptible in every choice he makes. I just, oh my God. Knowing that this guy is still alive and he actually married his mistress just annoys me to no end. And this show did not help me. Thank God his son is pretty much taken over as the figurehead in that family. It's kind of weird because I feel like Prince Charles is never going to be king. I really do. Somehow Queen Elizabeth is going to live to 110. I mean, it has happened. And he'll die before she does. And I think Prince William will become the eventual heir. So in some ways, I kind of feel for him because he's in the shadow of this great woman that lives forever. Very much the same with Queen Victoria and how her son had to wait forever. And I think he only served 10 years before he died. But that's as far as my sympathy goes with Prince Charles. He was really contemptible this season. Like I said, the women all stood out. The great drama was between Margaret Thatcher and Queen Elizabeth and Charles and Princess Diana. So if you're expecting anything else, I'm going to tell you now, that's all this season is about, those conflicts. They do have one little episode that has nothing to do with the roles for the most part. It was a one-off. I think they've done this before. It was about this guy named Michael Fabian who famously broke into Buckingham Palace twice and actually was in the Queen's bedroom. They kind of embellished the truth a little bit. I actually did some research on what actually happened. In the show, he speaks to her for about 10 minutes before the security arrives. I think in actuality, she left the room immediately. Don't let these details screw you up. But there's just some research I did on a show that's so accurate on so many levels. I could give them a little leeway for embellishing this story a little bit to make it more interesting. It was really great that they had this. They allowed this guy to have a conversation with Queen Elizabeth, and he was able to air out his grievances. And at the same time, kind of criticize the whole reign of Margaret Thatcher and her conservative austerity policies. So it really exposed, I think, a lot of problems that we have with conservative administrations. And the fact that a woman is leading that conservative administration is kind of ironic. There's even a scene where Queen Elizabeth asks Margaret Thatcher about having women on her cabinet. And she says, no, that's never a good idea. Women are much too emotional to have positions of power. And I was just like, really? Did she actually say that? And I don't doubt for a minute that she said that. I need to do some more research, though. But God, Margaret Thatcher, you're talking about a traitor to somebody's gender. Wow. So, yeah, everything about this show was great. All the soap opera stuff was great. The political stuff was great. All the trappings of higher society I just, me personally, I just like to see all that royalty stuff and how these people differ from regular people and how ultimately they are all lonely, desperate people in the end, just because they're vassals of the state. They're pretty much slaves of the state in a lot of ways. They can't have independent lives. They can't have true happiness because who they ultimately end up marrying has to be vetted. And that's never a good thing for anybody's sanity, having an arranged marriage. So yeah, I really enjoy this series. It's already been announced they're going to have 2 more seasons and it's going to be it. But like I said, I just want to voice my opposition to that idea. I really would like it just to continue, even if they run out of material. Hey, just make up some stuff, because I just love the writing on this show. I love the acting. I love everything about it. I love all the trappings of seeing this aristocratic family and them throwing money at the production values and just making you feel like you're actually there. You're actually in Buckingham Palace. You're actually in Windsor Castle and all these other castles that they go to this season. So yeah, I really love it. I recommend it. Good on Netflix for putting this quality content out there. But that's all I got for today. I'd like to thank my subscribers and encourage you, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? Could I, elaborate on something a little bit more? Let me know in the comments. Give me a like, give me a dislike, whatever. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.